Okay, and we are live on YouTube as well. Hello, everybody. My name is Harlequin Murray. I am your co-host this evening, as I usually am, every Monday night at 9 p.m. We're excited for everybody to be here. I know we've got some new people that have joined us recently, so welcome to you guys especially. We're looking forward to getting to know you all. And I get to go and introduce Ellen Winn, who is our team leader, and this is our team Zoom. So she has been with DAC for 8.5 years now, and I think that's right. No, 7.5. But she'll correct me. But anyways, she's been with DAC for quite a while, and she has a lot of experience. I know. I see you laughing at me, okay? Yeah,
It's
we like to
okay,
have fun.
everyone. We only do this once a week. It's a lot to remember.
I got confused. What can I say? But anyways, Ellen has a lot of experience in business as well as in marketing. She grew up in on a farm where she lives today, and so she grew up with that I can't even think of the word I'm looking for. But anyways, that's where she grew up. And I know you're laughing at me again, Ellen. But anyways,
Laughing with you.
yes. But anyways, she also has experience working in the restaurant industry. She worked for Domino's, worked her way up to management and was managing over all of the stores in the state of Georgia as well as training them. So she's got that experience. Then she decided to go out on her own and start up her own restaurant chain and had two locations of Winn's Pizza that I never got to try, but oh well. But anyway, she also currently still owns a limousine company. She's got an insurance agency. Um, she's a landlord. She's my landlord, plus she's got other people on different properties, but she also has a lot of network marketing experience, as I mentioned. That's how I met her initially about 20 years ago. And she was the national training director of the company at that particular time. But, anyways, I've messed this up way more than I normally do. So, Miss Ellen, go ahead and take it away before I mess it up anymore.
It's all good, Harlequin. Thank you. And you got the story right. It's just
Yeah.
not as succinct as it usually is. That's all good. Hey, everybody, welcome. Glad you're here. If you're here live, we appreciate you taking time out of your Monday night to spend with us. If you're here on the replay, thanks for taking time to watch. We got a lot of new people joining the team, a lot of good things happening with DAC, a lot of new fundings going on, and a lot of you are having some great successes. So let me get us off in our screen share mode and go through our top recruiters and leaderboard as I usually do. We'll start with that, and then after we go through this, if this is your first time joining us, we typically go through some slides and whatever I want to cover, then we'll go to question and answer any comments that you guys have in the chat there. Okay, so I want to congratulate last week's leaders, and I did change the day. I was about to say I didn't change the date, but in first place on our top recruiters is Willie Crawford. Willie had 5 new brokers start for the week. So great job, Willie. Way to get going there. Ben Randalls, who was on the leaderboard last week, in the top spot, has moved down to number 2 with 2 new recruits, and Stephanie Spear also had 2 new recruits. So to be named on the top recruiter list, you had to have 2 or more recruits to be listed by name. Many of us had 1 recruit, but we didn't make the leaderboard there. So if you had 1 recruit or you've had conversations with people and they just haven't clicked get started or join now button yet, Congratulations to you two for having those conversations and getting that invitation out there. Okay. I also want to congratulate all of the new brokers that have gotten started with us in the past 2 weeks and completed their training within the first 7 days of getting signed up as a DAC broker. So these are folks who've gotten off to a fast start, started, completed their broker certification, and are the ones that are most likely to start having success because they know what they're doing. They know what the DAC product is about, and they know the rules to play fairly. So congratulations to Avraham Lang, Crystal Spear, CNW LLC, Dwight Jenkins, Faith Connect LLC, Jessica Vicente, Leandro Coria, Lord Stewart Enterprises, Pruitt O'Connor Realty, Resilient Innovations, Sonia Santana, and William Humphrey. So congratulations to all you guys as you're just getting started on this fun and fabulous journey with David Allen Capital and our Bank Breezy team. All right, just a reminder of our weekly Zooms. This is a corporate list of Zooms Monday through Friday, every single day of the week at 11:30 Eastern Time. There is a live Zoom for you to join in on. The first 8-10 minutes of it is always a huddle. It's an inspirational story, and it's also a funding story of the day. Today, we had a great story about one of our very own, Victor Council, who had a client that got funded last week with $160,000 funding. This was a gas station, so kind of a complicated industry there. And they were doing about half that much revenue each month. They were in the process of being able to complete the build out of a new location. We were able to get them $160,000. So way to go, Victor. Congratulations to you. Bringing that client to the table, and most importantly, congratulations to the client that got the money that they needed and they couldn't get from their local bank. So those are the kind of stories you hear listening to those daily huddles. If you can't be on there live, go back and listen to them on the replay to at least pick up on that huddle's funding story, so that you can share that story on your Facebook page and any social media. It doesn't have to be your client. You can say, we helped a local gas station receive funding in the amount of $160,000, and then tell that story. Make it your own because you're part of DAC. And if it's a DAC funding story, it's our story, right? So that's what you want to be doing as you're listening to that information, sharing the success stories that we're having as a company. You don't have to claim personal ownership. You can say we, as in DAC. Okay, that's Monday through Friday, 11:30 Eastern Time. On Friday, it's a little bit longer. We go into our weekly broker updates. This week is going to be special. We're going to be rounding out almost to the very end of our March Madness promotion. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. But if you have a chance to be on there live, get there a few minutes early. Here on our team Zooms, we're going to start opening up a few minutes early and allow you guys to chime in from wherever you are, just like we do on the daily huddles. And be ready to go right at 9 o'clock or right at 11:30 on the weekly daily Zooms there with corporate. And then our team Zoom, we do this every Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's a different link. It's the zoom.lnwin.link for the team Zoom and daczoom.com for the corporate Zooms. That is the corporate channel. So main topic of conversation tonight is our DAC broker March Madness promotion. Guys, we're in the last 5-day stretch here to get you on the leaderboard. And every one of you that are listening on here tonight, if you're not already on that leaderboard, the top 64, you still have the ability to get there. And we want to talk about how you do that. So I'm going over to the LMS, which is dactraining.com. When you get over here, you can click on resources. And under resources right here in the middle, you'll see that DAC broker March Madness showing you the countdown clock, and they have also updated the leaderboard. So you can go in here and search by name to find yourself. If you have any points whatsoever, you're going to show up on here. We got 349 brokers that are in the competition right now. That's going to be narrowed down to the top 64 on March 1st, which will be on Sunday. So you can see where you are in the rankings, and boy, that can change in a minute. Right now, I know we've got several people on my team that are on here. Ben Randall's in number 4 spot. He's been on our recruiting leaderboard every week here recently. Let me see who else I see on here. There's Victor. Victor just popped up on there because he got this big funding today, right? He's got 653 points. Matt Duhane, you hear from him. He's not on my team. I wish he were, but we got Willie. Willie's on here, number 19. So congratulations to Willie. Let's go on down the list. See, there's Lynette Uten, 352. Lynette just had a funding client recently that put her on the leaderboard. D'Anthony Thomas is on the leaderboard. He's on our team. Excuse me. Annette Blanchard is on our team. Congratulations, Annette. Mark Match is on the team. Congratulations, Mark. LaTerrence Dunbar. There I am. Annie Nguyen is on the team. Manny Villalobos. Katie Sprinkle. So we've got a lot of folks in the Team Winn agency here that are on the top list. Ronnie McKellar, Sojourner Dry. These are all folks that are part of my organization. I apologize if I missed your name going through this quickly. I apologize for not claiming you. Harlequin is on this list of top leaders. So just go in here, and again, you can type in your name right here, your first name or last name, and it'll pull up everybody that their name is spelled that way, and you can see where your ranking is. If you're not on the list, let's go through how you can get some points and be on the leaderboard. And I really want to see all of you give it a push to see where you can end up and at least make that 64 that go into the March Madness promotion. Again, it starts on March 1st. The cut's going to be made. Only those that are in the top 64 are going to move into the actual competition. But here's how you get points. A new broker enrolled, that's 5 points. If that new broker goes on and becomes certified, then it adds 45 more points to their value, which makes it worth 50 points that you get credit for because you recruited them and you pointed them towards the certification process. If you have a new completed funding application submitted, meaning that all docs have been received, it's a signed application completed and sent in, that is 50 points. That includes Giggle, and that would be a Giggle client that goes all the way through and does the bank connecting, okay, to see what that final offer would be. If a Bank Breezy application gets funded, you're going to earn 10% of bonus revenue as points, okay? So, for example, we just said that Victor has 653 points. Well, that's 10% of what his bonus revenue was. So the bonus revenue on that client was 6,530 points. Okay.
Actually, Ellen, I'm
Uh-huh.
going to interject here. Victor has recruited, I think, 6 or 7 people, 3 of whom have gotten certified. So it's not all from that funding.
Okay. I was just going to give an example of that, but never mind. So anyhow, let me see. I lost my train of thought. And if a Giggle application funds, that earns an additional 50 points. Okay. But that's how you get on the leaderboard, and that's how the points are calculated. And that's how you can get some quick points on the board, really, is through recruiting. If you've got some funding applications in the works right now, or you got somebody that's been talking about applying, they can get funded same day or next day. But if you really take some initiative and do what we were talking about last week on sending out text messages and inviting people to take a look at the opportunity, you got a great opportunity to get yourself on the leaderboard. So I'm going to come off of the screen share there on the points and open up to see who might have questions or comments or questions on what to say, how to say it, any of that stuff. Anybody got anything? We got Ray with a hand up. Hey, Ray, how are you tonight?
Good evening, Ellen. Good evening, everybody. So I was on the call this today, and I noticed this is in regards to a question I had. I saw someone had asked a question in the chat box about credit pull, and it was answered. And they mentioned that, like, if if it's it would I'm trying to get my
Giggle. If it's giggle, it's a hard pull. Yes.
yeah, but what was explained was that the pull is done after the funds have been accepted for security measures. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that? I think I've heard it explained, but it's been a minute, and I just
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to.
no problem. Great question. So for everybody listen, we advertise on our website that we do a soft FICO pool, and that is the case 99.9% of the time on everything that goes to Bank Breezy. If there's ever a situation where the funding team at Bank Breezy and our lender that has made the offer through the Bank Breezy platform, if the lender sees something in the credit file that makes them uneasy, they may say, hey, we need to do a hard credit pull. And that's very rare, but they will always let the client know that they're going to do that. Now, that's the Bank Breezy side of the house. What Ray is talking about tonight is our giggle funding, those instant online fundings that are all automated. Okay. It used to be that they did a soft FICO pull only, just like we do with the Bank Breezy team. But they ended up seeing that it's really a high fraud scenario when you've got people that are applying online and getting approved through an automated process without actually having to talk to someone. So, as a safeguard to cut down on the number of fraudulent fundings that they were doing, they changed their rule, which says, okay, if you accept our offer, before we're actually going to transfer the funds into your account, there will be a hard credit pull. And the client is made aware of that in the funding process. So if they accept the funds, it'll say, by accepting these funds, you're acknowledging that we're going to do a hard credit pull, so that we're diving deeper into rather than what we just see on that soft FICO score. So that's how that works.
Okay, so they do, instead of doing soft pull now, they do a hard pull as
They do
well.
a soft pull they do soft pull initially, I think, which doesn't matter because that's not going to show up anywhere. But before they can receive funds as a Giggle client only on Giggle, they will receive an on-screen notification that they're going to have a hard credit pull on their account before
Okay,
they can get those funds deposited.
okay, and that's because of fraud issues.
Yep,
Okay,
yep,
okay, I wanted to
yep.
understand that. Thank you,
Yeah, you bet. Good question.
thank
Yeah.
you.
And if I can add to that, they're also going to do a background check at the same time, just so people are aware of that. Because we do
Yeah, and there should be a
occasionally,
disclaimer on that, letting them know. But again, that's because of fraud. So many people are hiding behind information online without having to interact with anyone, and they had a lot of people taking the money and running. Awesome. Anybody else? Welcome. All right, we've got David Osborne with a hand up. Hey, David, how are you doing tonight? I'm going to ask you to unmute. There you go.
Yes. Yeah, I'm doing very, very well. Thank you, Ellen, Harlequin, for all the stuff you do for our team. Just on that point that you're talking about with the hard credit pull, is that just for giggle or okay, just for giggle, and that's because of the fraud?
Yep, exactly. Yep. If someone is doing 15,000 or more operating with a business checking account and have moved on over to the Bank Breezy platform, again, it is a soft pull only, unless in the rare circumstance that the lender sees something that they're questioning and they say, hey, we want to make an offer. Here's our offer on this, but before we fund it, we're going to do a hard credit pull. And they'll
And that's
always let the client know.
okay, they'll let the client know, and that's just for giggle.
No, I told you two stories there. Giggle only is always going to be a hard credit pull before they fund the account.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Always. On
Always.
Bank Breezy, I said it's Very rare, but occasionally they will do a hard credit pull, but they will always let the client know ahead of time. And it would be only because they see something in the credit file or in the financials that are making them uneasy. And they'll say, okay, we'll fund this, but we need to do a hard credit pull. And that's very rare. I mean, it's probably 1 out of 500 that they would do a hard credit pull on.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the clarification.
Yeah, you're welcome. And again, on the Bank Breezy side, they will always let the client know, we're going to do a hard credit pull. We got to do a hard credit pull on this before we can finalize this offer. So,
okay, no problem. Thanks, Ellen. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. No, thanks for the question. All right. Anybody else? Chris got a hand up. Awesome. Hey, Chris.
Hello. I have a question. I don't really need to know this, but I am curious. It's about the process. Somebody puts in an application that goes out to 20 or so providers. When the providers come back, say 3, 4 of them accept the offer or accept the bid. I don't know what you would call it, the application. Does Bank Breezy look at those 4 and decide on the one to offer to the client? Or, okay, so the client only sees one offer.
Not necessarily. So the way it works, excuse me. So we've got 20 plus lenders in the platform, and our team at Bank Breezy always knows which lenders are going to even make an offer on particular industries. Let me use trucking as an example, because trucking is a high risk industry, especially if it's a solo unit, one man show, one man operator with only one truck on the road. That is a very high risk client, because if that truck goes down, their revenue has stopped until the truck's back on the road, right? And we've talked about this on previous Zooms, but I'll use transportation as that example. If it's a one-person operation versus a whole fleet of vehicles, there may be only 6 or 7 of our lenders that would even be willing to make an offer on a transportation industry company, okay? So in that, our team is going to submit the files to those lenders that are willing to make offers in transportation. Some of our lenders may be willing to offer to anybody, but with a X number of credit score. So it's what we call a waterfall method, where we're going to start with the best lenders first that are going to make an offer on that particular industry, and they're going to submit that file to those lenders. And after they've submitted it, they may submit it to a B lender and a C lender too. But as they're waiting, they know who they have submitted the package to, and they'll sit back and wait until all of those companies that should be making an offer have responded to say, we're declining to make an offer, or here's what we can loan them, and here are the terms, and they'll respond back to us with a yay or a nay. And if it's a yay, then they're saying what the terms are. Then our funding team at Bank Breezy compiles that information and says, okay, we've got you 2 offers, or we only have 1 offer, or we have 3 offers. One of them is funding and a line of credit, but they'll present that in an email, written offer to the client, and they'll do offer number 1, and they'll rate them offer number 1, offer 2, offer 3, showing the client the highest amount of funding and payback terms, and then the second, kind of the best offer is number 1, and the second best, and the third. But they present that to the client and let the client look at it, determining what's going to fit their needs best based on the payback amount, the total amount that they're going to receive, and any discounts or so on that are attached to that.
Thank you very much.
That work?
Yeah,
Harlequin,
it was
did I
curious.
leave out anything that could have explained that better?
No, that was pretty clear. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, and I did we look? Nope, she's there. Thought I lost her for a minute. I don't see her on camera. Okay, Ray's got a hand up again. Hey, Ray.
Yeah, Ellen. So with that explanation that you just gave about doing the waterfall method of the various lenders, the 20 plus lenders, so there's only going to be one pull from just one lender, or all of them? That's a question asked because the client or the customer may ask, well, are each of these lenders going to pull for me? Or that's why I'm asking, because you never know when you're talking.
Great question.
Yeah.
Great question. So all of the lenders in our network have agreed that the single application and the single credit pull that we do through the Bank Breezy platform is what they will accept. So they accept the e-signature that is on the Bank Breezy application, and they accept the credit pull that we do. So one application, one single FICO pull, and it allows it to go out to all of those different lenders.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. Good question.
Thank.
We're protecting that credit score tonight, right? Whether it be a hard credit pull on Giggle, one credit pull for 20 different lenders, or sometimes a hard credit pull in a very rare circumstance where they're going through Bank Breezy. So awesome. All right. Anybody else? Let's see. Oh, I see what happened. Harlequin is in the waiting room. We lost her there for a minute, and there she is back. Where'd you go, girl?
Yeah, I got kicked out.
Uh-oh, sorry about that. I was
Yeah.
asking you if you had any more comments on my explanation, and I'm going, wait, we lost her.
No, I missed most of your explanation. Sorry.
Uh-oh, well, I know you knew the answer anyway, so
What were you talking about?
I was giving answers on how the lending process works when somebody applies, and we've got all these different lenders, and just giving a bigger picture overview breakdown of how the process works. So good stuff. All right. Anybody else before we wrap up? We will be aware of your time and your commitment tonight. So anybody got any questions on the March Madness? Can I get some commitments from you guys that you're going to talk to at least 5 people this week and invite them to take a look at our opportunity?
I'm not saying they won't. But...
Let me remind you of an easy way to approach that, and that's a text message. You don't even have to talk to someone. You can say, "Hey, have you ever thought about making money outside of what you're currently doing?" Okay, you can ask them that, or my question that I always say, are you open to making extra money outside of what you're currently doing? Same question, same kind of thing. Basically, that opening question is to let them know you're not trying to give them something to replace their income. Are you open to making money outside of what you're currently doing? That's question number 1. Number 2 is if they say yes, if you're waiting for a response, if they say yes, then you're going to go into question 2 and question 3. If you just want to send a text message to a bunch of people and not even have a conversation, if you're that timid that you don't want to do that, you could say, have you ever thought about making money outside of what you're currently doing? Question mark. If so, I have some information I would like to share. It may or may not be a good fit, and it'll only take you about 4 minutes to decide, right? You can send that in one message if you don't want to have a back and forth and position yourself where you've got to answer any questions. Open to making money, may or may not be a good fit, only take you 4 minutes to decide. So you've given them a way to back out in all 3 of those questions. Asking, are they open first? May or may not be a good fit. Letting them know, hey, if it's not a good fit, no big deal. And it'll only take you 4 minutes. Everybody's got 4 minutes to look at something. If you tell them it's going to be a 28-minute presentation, they're going to go, well, I don't have time right now. But if you say 4 minutes and just send them that 4-minute partner video, it's going to pique their interest if they are a good candidate, or they're going to be turned off by it and say, yeah, no, this isn't a good fit. If it's not a good fit, if they watch it, they may know someone that is a good fit, and they may say, hey, this isn't good for me, but my friend so-and-so or one of my associates so-and-so might be interested in this, and they may refer someone to you, okay? But as I said last week when I was leading the huddle, you're going to miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So if you don't have that conversation with those folks, then they're definitely not going to be on your team. But I encourage you to have a few conversations, send some messages out, invite people to take a look at what we're doing, because you never know who it's going to be a good fit for and who it's not. There's an old saying in my days of network marketing is the ones that you think will, won't, and the ones that you think won't, will. Meaning that the ones that you think won't do it, they'll be the ones that most likely are going to come in here and just really be go-getters. And then the people that you think will do it because you look up to them and you think that they would be a great fit for this business, they're the ones that are going to be too busy to even get started. So just encourage you to take some time, send out a few messages this week and just see what happens. And I guarantee you, after one person says, hey, I like this, and decides they want to sign up, you're going to want to send out more text messages, because when you start having success, it gets you excited and it leads to more success and more interaction with people. When you start sending those messages out, I know that the piece comes in where we're timid with not quite knowing how to answer questions. Your best answer, if you're new at this, or even if you're not new, if you've been around for a while but you really haven't engaged and you're going, okay, well, that scares me to death to have somebody that's interested in this, because if I enroll them and I sign them up with DAC, doesn't that mean I have to know what I'm doing? Heck no, we've got systems in place. You've got upline team leaders like me or Harlequin, whoever's organization you're in. Your best answer, if you're afraid to answer and don't know what to say, or answering the questions of, well, how's it going for you? A lot of people want to do that. And I don't know why they do it, but they'll say, well, how's that going for you? Or how much money have you made? Just deflect it and say, look, I'm new. So don't take my success or lack of success and base your opinion of the company on what I've done, because I'm new. Or if they ask you a question that you don't know the answer to, just say, hey, I'm new. I'm not sure about the answer on that, but I can get somebody on the phone that can answer the question. You're not going to get a lot of questions. I find most people, if they watch the presentation, it's self-explanatory and they're not going to go through drilling you with questions, but some will. And that's when you want to reach out and say, hey, Ellen, I've got somebody that's really interested in the business, but they got a lot of questions. And I told them I'm pretty new at this and I don't want to give them misinformation. And I'm happy to do a three-way call. Harlequin is happy to do three-way calls with those of you that are on her team as well. So this is not difficult. Most of you will make it way more difficult than it is. I can talk to a telephone pole about DAC and keep the conversation going when it's just one-sided, because I love DAC. So let us help, and let us help you grow your business, and let us see your name on the leaderboard when we go into the March Madness, the final brackets on March 1st. Okay. Reach out if we can help. All right, we got one more hand up. We got Randy up. Hey, Randy, how you doing tonight? Ask you to unmute.
All right, I'm doing okay. Now, I just wanted to know, with this March Madness, is that like a prize that's coming with it, or?
There is.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you all giving out a car or something? I don't know, but.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what the final prize is going to be. David Rutz, our company founder, is the one that is dictating what that prize is. He has some money set aside, and he made the announcement when he first started this. He said that the prize will be dictated by how hard people are making a run for the March Madness Challenge, meaning is most of the points going to be generated from fundings, and if people are bringing new funding clients into the platform above average because of the promotion, then there'll be more money in the pot. But that's dictated by the company. More to come on that. He'll talk about it on Friday as we get to the next to the last day. This goes through February, and the cut goes down to the top 64, and that'll be announced on March 1st. So I hope to see you in there. Man, that is a sharp profile pick you have there.
I'm trying, I'm trying to make that Ellen type money. So I'm trying my best. So
I love it. Looking good.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. All right. Well, if no one else has questions, Harlequin, did you have something?
Yeah, because I'm actually not going to be on the Zoom for the huddle tomorrow, so I'm going to share this with everybody today. I had a really good day today, and I was at the Marietta Business Association, and an employee of the city of Marietta came and approached me today. I had done a one-on-one meeting with her a couple weeks ago, and she said she's looking at doing a funding type of seminar. You know, the city wants to put it on, and she wants me to help her with that.
Nice.
So that's a win there. And then I'm also in the Kennesaw Business Association, and the city of Kennesaw invited me today to be part of their job fair in May. So got signed up for
Nice.
that. So and I have done meetings with them as well. So, and I've got two other groups that I have met with recently that I'm doing similar type things where I'm meeting one-on-one with them. So,
Excellent.
yeah, whenever you go out and meet some of these people, try and schedule an appointment. And one of the good tips that I got is always have your calendar with you. So if you're with somebody, try and book an appointment immediately whenever you meet with that person or whenever you see that person. But anyway, so yeah, just wanted to share that because tomorrow
Excellent.
I've got Kennesaw, they have a women's group, and there is going to be a luncheon that starts at 11:15 and goes until 1. So
All right. Well, we'll be taking notes on the huddle for you.
thank you.
All right. And on that, having your calendar ready. Anytime I'm out networking and I run into someone and they say, well, send me your information. If I don't have a card, which most of the time I have my card, I'll say, hey, what's your number? I'll go ahead and pull up my text and I'll go ahead and put them in my phone and I'll send them a text message and say, hey, Harlequin, nice meeting you at whatever, and I'll hit send. I already have a signature built in with my name on the signature of my text messages, but that way we're walking away with each other's phone number and not leaving it to a follow-up later, remembering to go back to a business card and sending something out that way. So good stuff. All right, everybody, we appreciate your time tonight. Hope to see you on the tomorrow's huddle, everybody but Harlequin. And hope to see you guys on the leaderboard. So take care. Let us know how you can help. Have